Alright, let's show them what we've got. Let's dance!
The Sega Dreamcast had a short life plagued by piracy and, even worse, low sales mostly caused by the excitement of the PlayStation 2, which at the time was still looming on the horizon. But even with those setbacks, the Dreamcast library managed to be jam-packed with exclusives, original IP, arcade ports, and some truly innovative games. One of the many standouts was Sega's own Space Channel 5, a sci-fi futuristic rhythm game crossed with a 1960s Twiggy aesthetic. And so here we are, 21 years later, playing a VR reimagining of the cult classic, with mostly new content, and a ton of throwbacks that fans of the original games are gonna love.
Groove evening, stargazers! Tonight, we're reporting to you live from home.
In Kinda Funky Newsflash, instead of playing as the series staple Ooh La La, you now follow a few steps behind her from stage to stage, taking down alien invaders as a rookie reporter. I'm assuming that the change was made for a couple of reasons. First, to give players in VR someone to follow along with when they execute dance moves. And second, it's a great way to keep the charismatic third-person star of the series on screen while maintaining a first-person viewpoint. The original featured iconic, slow-paced marching through the levels as you recruit more and more dancers along the way. But here in the VR version, you'll just be standing in one spot for each stage. Other than those subtle changes, Kinda Funky Newsflash is Space Channel 5 through and through. In the headset, you really feel like you're inside a 1999 Dreamcast game. The sparse environments and somewhat plastic look of all the characters is replicated perfectly in VR. And the dance moves feel pretty good once you get used to knowing just how far up, down, left, and right you need to move. The rookie reporter you're playing as does have some pretty short arms and narrow shoulders, so unless you happen to be of a similar stature, you might get some Immortal Legacy T-Rex vibes from your in-game avatar. Unfortunately, it's a bit too easy to cheat your way through the game, as Space Channel 5 only cares that you're in the right position when it checks, and doesn't care at all if you're actually moving in rhythm.
Choo, choo, choo!
Left, up, choo, choo, choo!
Right, up, choo, choo, choo!
Right, up, choo, choo, choo! Dragging a newbie along, huh? You won't get far like that.
What didn't translate so well here is the difficulty. It's been a while since I played the original, but I remember it taking me quite a few tries to get through, so I was surprised that it took me less than an hour to get through all 4 stages in Space Channel 5 VR, finding every secret and getting near perfect percentage ratings. And despite all the options and modes listed in the main menu, there's really nothing left to do once you've beaten the game. The dressing room mode consists of changing Ooh La La's outfit, which is just the same outfit palette swapped 3 times. The calorie counter lets you know how many calories you burned that day, and the arcade mode is just the story mode again, minus the story, which basically just leaves a 100-stage dance battle. This mode had me smiling from ear to ear with its ridiculous poses and voiceovers, and really wasn't afraid to get extra goofy. But despite the marathon endurance run that 100 stages sounds like, it just isn't, and only clocks in at around 10 minutes total. I hate ragging on Space Channel 5's length this much, but when there's no real incentive to replay the game, like unlockable power-ups, new characters, a harder difficulty setting, or whatever, then $40 starts sounding like way too much money for this pretty bare-bones experience. Luckily, Kinda Funky Newsflash looks like it's designed with DLC in mind, and if the developers are planning on adding more stages or alternate modes for free, I'll be there on day 1 to play them. But I would have preferred if they charged $15 or $20 for the base game, and then charged for the extras, rather than spending the money for a premium game up front, and then keeping my fingers crossed that they deliver.
Pose, choo, pose, choo!
Pose, choo, pose, choo! Dancing good! Pose!
When I think about all the incredible games from Sega's console days that I'd love to see in VR, somehow Space Channel 5 is never the first one that comes to mind. It's a cult classic for sure, but hits like House of the Dead, Crazy Taxi, and even Jet Set Radio would all be guaranteed bestsellers. I love that the developers took a risk on a 20-year-old niche title and brought it into VR with style. I just hope that they're committed to adding more content to justify the price.